right, first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and a sincere salutation to the Akim pushing his truth and sincerity by rawchaa, qadash. As brothers already know, this movie is out now. It's called Judas and the Black Messiah. And this is based on a true story, okay, of the chairman of the Chicago, Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party, Fred Hampton, okay, and the antagonist played, which is William O'Neill, and how he basically was sent in by the FBI to infiltrate the Black Panthers, okay, and this happened, back in the 60s, so I actually had to do some research after I watched the movie. And of course, they make this movie in hopes to, instill a sense of pride in, protest and unity of minorities and pushing that narrative that, of freedom and equality and whatnot. But, this is just another revelation, in these last days, that the only way to salvation is through Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi. No matter how you try to, glamour up the story of ex-militant revolution pastors and leaders and community members and whatnot, it all goes back to the Bible, and you got a lot of people, that are saying that these guys were heroes and that, we need to go back to, buying black owned, we need to go back to voting, we need to get more political, we need to buy guns, and we need to make our own banks, our own doctors, and do the whole Black Wall Street again. You just come to find out that through the Spirit, through the scriptures, that the only way to salvation is through Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi, and I want to go into that because, you got a lot of people pushing a all black narrative, but then where does that leave the other Israelites, the so-called Latinos and the Native Americans? Then you got Latinos, you got Native Americans that, that don't want to unify with so-called Negroes. Okay, so our people are just gone. Okay, and our people are far from the truth, and movies like this, they don't really help, bring us out of a low estate. We're our people are still in obscurity. Our people are barely finding out the truth of the whole issue with the Black Panthers, and a movie can't do justice, man. The only way to really understand why our people cannot get out of slavery is because you don't know the Bible and you don't know the reason why we are in slavery. Okay. Now I want to read this. This is Wikipedia. Okay, and it's on Fred Hampton. Okay, and it says Frederick Allen Hampton, August 30, 1948 to December 4, 1969, was a black activist, Marxist, Leninist, and revolutionary socialist. He came to prominence in Chicago as chairman of the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party and deputy chairman of the National Black Panther Party. In this capacity, he founded the Rainbow Coalition, a prominent multicultural political organization that initially included the Black Panthers, Young Patriots, and the Young Lords, and an alliance among major Chicago street gangs to help them end infighting and work for social change. Okay, so he basically founded a political organization, okay, called the Rainbow Coalition, okay, and he gathered a lot of street gangs, along the way, and to work for social change, Okay, it says in 1967, Hampton was identified by the Federal Bureau of Investigation as a radical threat. The FBI tried to subvert his activities in Chicago, sowing disinformation among black progressive groups and placing a counterintelligence operative in the local Panthers. Okay, and that counterintelligence operative that was placed in the Black Panthers was none other than this guy, William O'Neill. Okay, so this movie, Judas and the Black Messiah, is about Fred Hampton, the guy pictured in the front, and the guy in the back is supposed to be this guy, William O'Neill. He was the counterintelligence operative that the FBI used to infiltrate the Black Panther Party. Okay, so let's read up on him. This is William O'Neill, April 9th, 1949 to January 15, 1990, was an FBI informant known for playing a role in the 1969 assassination of Black Panther Party leader Fred Hampton. Okay. And basically, William O'Neill was a career criminal in Chicago. Okay, and it says here in 1966, when he was about 17 years old, he was caught by FBI agent Roy Martin Mitchell, who tracked O'Neill down for stealing a car and driving it across state lines to Michigan. In exchange for having his felony charges dropped, O'Neill agreed to infiltrate the Panthers as a counterintelligence operative. Despite just being a teenager, O'Neill quickly became tasked with being among the heads of Black Panther leader Fred Hampton's security. Okay, so he made it all the way up to his security and had keys to several Panther headquarters and safe houses. Okay, so he basically infiltrated and moved up the ranks and even became part of the security. Okay, so he is the Judas, okay, in this movie, and Fred Hampton is the so-called Black Messiah. Okay, and really, yeah, Black Messiah, was basically just like it was basically, if I'm not mistaken, it was the FBI's term for a black leader that would unify, so-called Negroes, man. They used that term that, basically they didn't want to see any black messiahs coming up out of society, because basically the so-called white man knows that, the son of the Most High, God, okay, is a so-called black man, okay? So that's what this movie's about. It's about this guy, Fred Hampton, and how he was basically assassinated with the helps of one of his own kind, okay? It says, let's read here. In December 1969, Hampton was shot and killed in his bed during a pre-dawn raid at his Chicago apartment by a tactical unit of the Cook County State Attorney's Office in conjunction with the Chicago Police Department and the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Okay, so he was shot and killed in a pre-dawn raid at a Chicago apartment. So they caught him up early in the morning. Okay, now I want to get this, man. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 29. It says, and thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness. Okay. Now, these were curses that were put upon the Israelites. And we know through the Spirit, okay, fast forward to today, that the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true biblical Israelites. Okay. And that we were cursed by the Most High for not obeying his laws, judgments, statutes, and commandments. And this is one of them. Okay. Now, I know a lot of brothers are very well versed on these curses, but I just wanted to read this for anyone, okay, who is not, okay, and it's always good to go back, okay. So it says, Deuteronomy 28 and 29, and thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness, okay. And groping at noonday is like trying to find your way in the dark. Okay, but this is saying in noonday. So how were our people trying to find their way in the noonday? Well, there are people were blind, or and even to this day, our people are blind. Our people are still trying to push that revolutionist movement. You got dudes trying to teach their kids, okay, how to use guns, okay, how to, how to clean and disarm different types of guns with blindfolds on, and making them go through obstacle courses and shoot at targets and whatnot. Our people are blind. Our people they still think that they can win, okay, off of their enemy's blessing, which is Esau, Edom. He was blessed with the gun, okay? But our people, they grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness. So as a blind man gropeth because he can't see in the dark, that's how our people grope in the noonday, because they're just about as blind as a blind man. And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. Okay? Thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. When you look up that word
Strong's H 1870. Derech.
Course of life. You will not prosper in your course of life. Okay? And these Negroes, man, and other ones too, because there was Puerto Ricans, I believe, they had their own groups back then, their own political groups, okay, but they didn't prosper in their course of life, okay, in their journeys, in their direction, in their lives, they didn't prosper. Why? Because this is not the way of Yahawashi, okay. Becoming a Marxist or a Leninist, a revolutionary, is not the way. And in that movie, you hear Fred Hampton chant, "I am a revolutionist." Okay? Now, that's not the way to salvation. And that's why they did not prosper in their ways. And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore. Okay? So, no matter what Martin Luther King did, whatever Malcolm X did, or whatever Fred Hampton did, obviously they didn't prosper, okay? And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, right? And basically he got arrested for supposedly stealing $70 worth of ice cream, and he went to prison. Okay, so no matter what he tried to do, Esau was on him, and Esau put him in jail. Okay. It says, and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee, right? And no one was able to save the so-called Negroes out of slavery, or any other minority out of slavery. And that was the curses that was on us. Okay, let's go down and read the 45th verse. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkest not unto the voice of Yahawah thy God. Okay, and that's why your so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans have been oppressed. Okay, and that's why they've been spoiled. Okay, that's why they've been robbed of their wives, their children, of their land, of their work and their wages. Okay, because they were disobedient. This is why our people are in this state. You see, so our people don't know. Our people think that they can buy black owned or buy Hispanic owned, and that'll get us out of poverty, that we should elect our own officials and whatnot. But we are cursed as a people. Why? Because thou hearkest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Okay, so these curses are basically came upon us, and they would be a sign and a wonder upon us and our seed forever. Okay, that's why fast forward till today, our people don't understand, why we were in slavery. Our people don't understand why we're always, first to be arrested, and why are we being killed, and why are our oppressors getting away with it? Why are we poor and in the ghettos and on drugs? Okay, and why our vote don't matter? Why don't they elect officials that are the same race as the minorities? You see, our people don't understand that these things, they're actually written in the Bible. Okay, and they very much are a wonder. Our people wonder. Our people do not know. And they don't know because they have forsaken the Heavenly Father. Okay. Now, let's go back and read a little bit more. Okay, it says, all right. It says during the raid, okay, because he was raided, right? He had in a Chicago apartment. I believe it was like 4 a.m. During the raid, Panther Mark Clark was also killed and several others were seriously wounded. In January 1970, a coroner's jury held an inquest and ruled the deaths of Hampton and Clark to be justifiable homicide. Okay, so the coroner, they ruled the death of Hampton and Clark a justifiable homicide. Okay, now, basically, how was it justifiable if they were asleep at 4 a.m? What did it say here? I believe I read in another article. I don't have time to pull it up, but this guy Mark Clark was actually sitting in a chair. He was on security. He was watching. The room that Fred Hampton was sleeping in, and he was killed. Okay, so he was assassinated. It goes on to say that. And so a civil lawsuit was later filed on behalf of the survivors and the relatives of Hampton and Clark. It was resolved in 1982 by a settlement of $1.85 million. The city of Chicago, Cook County, and the federal government each paid 1/3 to a group of 9 plaintiffs, given revelations about the illegal coin intel program and documents associated with the killings. Many scholars now consider Hampton's death an assassination under the FBI's initiative, right? And it was J. Edgar Hoover that basically wanted him, wanted Fred Hampton out. What does it say here? It says FBI Chief J. Edgar Hoover was determined to prevent the formation of a cohesive black movement in the United States. Hoover believed the Panthers, Young Patriots, Young Lords, and similar radical coalitions Hampton forged in Chicago were a stepping stone to the rise of a revolution that could cause a radical change in the U.S. government. You see? So basically, these Edomites were scared that they were gonna change the government, man. Okay. So what did they do? They had him assassinated, man. Now, let's read this. This is Zechariah 11:5. It says, whose possessors slay them. Okay, who possesses who? Well, the so-called white man, he possessed Negroes in chains, along with you Latinos and you Native Americans. You are slaves too. That's how you know we are one people. Okay. Let's see. What does it say? This is Jeremiah 15:33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. Okay, so, when we tell you that, Judas, the so-called Negroes, and Israel, the so-called Latinos and Native Americans, we're telling you out of the Bible. We're telling you through the Spirit that, we come to find out that we are the Israelites, okay, and we have been oppressed together. And all that took us captives, they held us fast and they refused to let us go, And if you don't think that the slavery that we have been serving in this country is in the Bible, then you're sadly mistaken. It's all written there. This is Black history. This is Latino, Native American history, the Bible. And it's not just 1 month out of the year, okay? So let's go back here. This is Zechariah 11:5. Whose possessors slay them, right? And hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. Okay, so those that possess us, they slay us. Just like in the case of the FBI with Fred Hampton. He was assassinated along with the other guy. What was his name? Mark Clark. Okay. Let's see. It says, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. Okay. And that's what they say. They say, blessed be the Lord. See, because the so-called white man thinks that the Most High, is on their part. The pride of their heart had deceived, and they actually believe that their lies of a Salakia, of a white Messiah is true. Okay. Okay. I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. Right. And so-called William O'Neill, he was supposedly a shepherd for the Black Panther Party. He was supposed to be security, but what did he do? He even sold out his own people. That's a curse as well. The Judas, he was very much a Judas goat. This is Deuteronomy 28:54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Okay, so the man that was tender, and delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother. So we used to be tender and delicate. When you come into the knowledge, you have to learn how to be tender and delicate, because you're in the world and it's a dog-eat-dog place. Okay, and not only would he be evil toward his brother, but he would, also toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children. Okay, which he shall leave. So that tells it. This is the scripture that tells you why the black families, why the Hispanic and the Native American families are broken apart. Okay, because it's a curse. It's a curse for us to hate our brother, our woman, and our children, and then we would leave. Why? Because there would be problems in the family. There'd be problems with the man and the wife. Okay? But look at this guy. Right. Let's read this. Check this out. O'Neill joined the party, talking about the Judas guy. William O'Neill joined the party and quickly rose in the organization, becoming director of chapter security and Hampton's bodyguard. You see, his eye was evil towards his brother. Why? Because he was only looking out for himself. Because it says right here, FBI Chicago field office recruited William O'Neill to work with it. He had recently been arrested twice for interstate car theft and impersonating a federal officer. In exchange for having his felony charges dropped and monthly stipend, O'Neill agreed to infiltrate the Black Panther Party as a counterintelligence operative. You see? So these scriptures are real, Let me go back. It says here, in 1969, the FBI special agent in charge in San Francisco wrote J. Edgar Hoover, that the agent's investigation had found that in his city, at least the Panthers were primarily feeding breakfast to children. Hoover responded with a memo implying that the agent's career prospects depended on his supplying evidence to support Hoover's view that the Black Panther Party was a violence-prone organization seeking to overthrow the government by revolutionary means. Okay. Yeah, he did. J. Edgar Hoover didn't want them feeding the children. He didn't want them having social programs because they would gain favor. Part of COINTELPRO is to what? Is to discredit people. Let's see. It says right here. I'm gonna highlight it. COINTELPRO tactics are still used to this day and have been alleged to include discrediting targets through psychological warfare, smearing individuals, groups, using forged documents, and by planting false reports in the media, harassment, wrongful imprisonment, and illegal violence, including assassination. According to a Senate report, the FBI's motivation was protecting national security, preventing violence, and maintaining the existing social and political order. Beginning in 1969, Leaders of the Black Panther Party were targeted by the Coin Intel Pro and neutralized by being assassinated, imprisoned, publicly humiliated, or falsely charged with crimes. Some of the Black Panthers affected included Fred Hampton, Mark Clark, Zayad Shakur, Geronimo Pratt, Mumia Abu Jamal, and Marshall Conway. Common tactics used by the Cointel Pro were perjury, witness harassment, witness intimidation, and withholding of evidence. FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover issued directives governing COINTELPRO, ordering FBI agents to expose, disrupt, misdirect, discredit, or otherwise neutralize the activities of these movements and especially their leaders. Okay, so yeah, this is what Esau does. Okay, and this is all written in the scriptures. Okay. Let's see. Scriptures say about they set snares. Okay. Listen to this. This is Psalms 140 and 5. Psalms 140 and 3. They have sharpened their tongues like a serpent. Adder's poison is under their lips. Selah. Keep me, O Yahawah, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man who have purposed to overthrow my goings. Okay. And you Israelites, your goings are overthrown. Okay. By who? None other than your enemy, Esau, Edom. And these things are in the scriptures. Okay, so why would you continue to want to push a militant, revolutionist view when in reality, man, now, our battle is through the spirit. Our battle is through this truth. Because the Black Panthers, they really had a by any means necessary type vibe to them too, which that's not going to work, man. Esau, Edom, the earth is given into his hand. There's no way to fight him. Right. It says, keep me, O Yahawah, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man who have purpose to overthrow my goings. Right. And look at this COINTEL Pro. Ordering FBI agents to expose, disrupt, misdirect, discredit, or otherwise neutralize the activities of these movements and especially their leaders. Okay. Common tactics used by COINTELPRO were perjury, witness harassment, witness intimidation, and withholding of evidence. Okay. So, Esau ain't no joke. What does it say here? Including assassination. Okay, and Martin Luther King was assassinated. Malcolm X was assassinated. So was Fred Hampton. Okay, and we know that Malcolm X, he actually made a covenant with these devils, man. So no matter what, they assassinated him. Okay, but that's what the wicked do, and all this is written in the scriptures. So wouldn't you want to be in the scriptures? Wouldn't you want to know? Okay, exactly what's going on? Because the Black Panthers ain't going to tell you that. The Marxists, the Leninists, okay, Che Guevara and Bob Marley and all this other, peace, love, and happiness groups they're not gonna tell you this, man. Only the Most High, Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, and the Holy Scriptures are going to let you know, okay, how to get out of this oppression. All right, it says, the proud have hid a snare for me and cords. They have spread a net by the wayside. They have set gins for me, Selah. Okay, and yeah, the proud, which is what, though, Esau, Edom, they hid snares and cords for our people. They have spread a net by the wayside. They have set gins for me, right? Okay, so all this is written in the scriptures. So you're not going to get away, okay, with this Black Power movement, this Hispanic, brown berets or whatever the case. This is Isaiah 28:15, because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us, for we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. And a lot of Israelites think that, when the overflowing scourge, when all hell breaks loose, when the judgment of Yahawashi comes upon the people, that they're going to escape, they're going to pick up weapons, and they're going to cheat death, or they're going to become killers and murderers and do what they got to do to get a piece of bread. It's not going to come to pass. It says, for we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. And our people are under falsehoods, and they're under lies. The whole doctrine is lies. Right? This is the NLT. You boast. We have struck a bargain to cheat death. Right? There was a shootout at the headquarters of the Black Panther Party, and what happened? They got arrested. A lady and a man, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. They thought they were going to go out in a blaze of glory, and what happened? They got arrested. Okay, it says here, and have made a deal to dodge the grave. The coming destruction can never touch us, for we have built a strong refuge made of lies and deception. What are you going to do in that day when Yahawashi comes? You're no matter how many fists you throw up in the air, Yahawashi is going to destroy you if you're not part of the elect, if you're not part of the chosen. 18, and your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then ye shall be trodden down by it. When all hell breaks loose, when the enemy come in like a flood, the hour of temptation, when the martial law camps, when all these things hit, all you people, all you so-called blacks, Latinos, you Native Americans, you're going to be trodden down by all that. It says, from the time that it goeth forth, it shall shake you. For morning by morning shall it pass over, by day and by night, and it shall be a vexation only to understand the report. Okay, so when that day, when that comes, when all that scourge, when that overflowing calamity, when it just overflows you, that avalanche of trouble, that Jacob's trouble, you got Israelites who saying there's not a Jacob's trouble. When it comes, morning by morning, day after day after night, it's going to be a vexation. When you start to understand what's going on, it's going to vex you. You see, it says, for the bed is shorter than that a man can stretch himself on it, and the covering narrower than he can wrap himself in it. You see, that's a saying in the world, as a matter of fact. Okay, so yeah, man, our people think that, here's 2021 and this movie comes out, and it's this big old thing and whatnot, but people don't really understand why the so-called blacks, the Latinos, Native Americans, why are they going through these things? It's all written in the Bible, but yet they push the Bible to the side and want to be Africans. They want to be Mexicans. They want to be, whatever, they buy words, they want to, they don't want to unite, even though we've been oppressed together. That's another thing they hid. They hid the images and they hid the stories of how Latinos and Native Americans were oppressed and hanged and killed just like the so-called Negroes, because if they would have let those images out, then people would have just been like, hey, wait a minute, me and you, hey, we need to link together. You see? But that's what the devil does. He works in deception and he works in division. Okay, but now that the Lord has raised us up, now we know the truth. Okay, and although this was a good movie to see, I'm not bashing it. I'm just saying, you got a lot of people out there that think that, we need to, do another Black Wall Street. We need to start another BPP, and they do got that with the Black Lives Matter, which is what, infiltrated by so-called whites, just like how they used this guy in the back, William O'Neill, to infiltrate Fred Hampton there in Chicago. You see? This is 1 Samuel 2:9. He will keep the feet of his saints And the wicked shall be silent in darkness, for by strength shall no man prevail. So the wicked, they're not going to prevail by their strength. Neither shall any man prevail by his strength. You're not going to pick up a weapon in that day. You're not going to be commandoed out, protesting, throwing up a black power fist or a brown power fist, however you want to say it, in that day. You see? The adversaries of Yahawah shall be broken to pieces. Out of heaven shall he thunder upon them. The Lord shall judge the ends of the earth, and he shall give strength unto his king and exalt the horn of his anointed. You see? So the Lord's going to exalt who? Yahawah's going to exalt Yahawashi and the anointed. Okay? The election. You see? That's the side you want to be on. Because, contrary to proper belief, the Messiah, the true black Messiah, okay, that's who's coming. He's an Israelite. So why would you want to be? Why would you want to pray to Jesus? Why would you want to pray to another God, or have another belief, another identity, another doctrine, another philosophy? Okay, when your God Himself looks like you. You see. This is Hosea 1:7. But I will have mercy upon the house of Judah, and will save them by Yahawah their God, and will not save them by bow, nor by sword, nor by battle, nor by horses, nor by horsemen. You see? Let's get this. Right, the Lord's coming with the angels. Okay, the Lord's coming with the host of heaven. He's not going to meet this devil as a man. He's going to come in a godlike state. And why would you not want to be on that side? This is Isaiah 30:18. And therefore will Yahawah wait, and therefore will the Lord wait, that he may be gracious unto you, and therefore will he be exalted, that he may have mercy upon you. For the Lord is a God of judgment. Blessed are they that wait for him. You see? So right now, Yahawashi is waiting, okay, till the Most High call him to come and get us, man, to come get us out of this captivity. Okay, because we are the Israelites. We are the ones that have been in slavery for all these, since the beginning of time. Why? Because we went off following other gods and other philosophies like our people do today. Worshiping a white Jesus, being militant, all these different religions, being atheist, worshiping statues, dealing in drugs, being thugs and a bunch of other bullshit. Okay. And therefore will the Lord wait, that he may be gracious unto you, and therefore will he be exalted, that he may have mercy upon you. For the Lord is a God of judgment. You see, blessed are all they that wait for him. So the Most High, Yahawashi, is a God of judgment. No man is going to get away with wickedness. Okay, and blessed are all they that wait for him. Okay, the Lord has, these prophecies and these things written in the Bible have to come to pass. And it's all coming to pass, and we're waking up and we're reading through the Bible what has happened in the past, what has happened in the present, what is going to happen in the future, and letting the people know, okay, because our people have been blind for way too long, and only those that can receive this word are going to wake up and understand why we do these videos, why we filter things through the scriptures, why we filter the news through the scriptures. You got people that speak against that. This is Psalms 44:5. Through thee will we push down our enemies. Through thy name will we tread them under that rise up against us. You see? It's through who? It's through Yahawashi that we will push down our enemies. Through thy name will we tread them under that rise up against us. For I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me. But thou hast saved us from our enemies, and hast put them to shame that hated us. In God we boast all the day long, and praise thy name forever. Selah. You see? The Lord has always put to shame the enemies. Pharaoh, that was a great example. Pharaoh had the Israelites in the captivity. Okay, and no, Egyptians did not sell Egyptians. Egyptians sold Israelites, and Israelites were put on boats and sent to America and all over the world, which is known as the transatlantic slave trade and other slave trades. That's history. That's facts. But the Lord has put our enemies to shame, like Pharaoh. Okay, going back to the story of Moses. Okay, and Pharaoh. But yeah, our people, they don't even know history. They don't even know that they are they are the Israelites. You know, you got a lot of people still thinking that they're Africans, that everything started in Africa. Africa's the motherland. That shit irks me, man, to the spirit. But no, we have to wait. This truth is coming out. We have to be patient. You know, only those who are going to receive it are going to receive it. Nonetheless, you know, we still push this truth. This is Psalms 37. And 34, wait on Yahawah and keep his way. He shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. Okay? So if you're destined to be saved, if you're destined to come out of this darkness, that our people have been groping in during the noonday, you're going to see the wicked get cut off. And it's going to be the so-called Edomite, the so-called white man. He's going to be cut off. And he shall inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. And I have seen the wicked in great power and spreading himself like a green brake tree. Okay? And that's basically the point, man. Wait on Yahawah bahasham and keep his way. And you're going to inherit the land. We're going to rule this earth. And the wicked are going to get cut off. And we're going to see it. Lord willing, if we're all part of that elect, we're going to see this, man. Okay? So that was about it. There was more scriptures I can go into, but I just wanted to make those points. Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to say Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi. Shalom.